Namaste, dear friends. Today I have spared a time for satsang, spiritual talk. Hope we will interact, we'll share our knowledge, and you will learn something new, something very helpful, something very useful for your spiritual life. So begin with Om chanting, with remembrance of divine. Wherever Om is chanted, the atmosphere, the environment of that place is purified. Om is sacred name of divine. That is beyond so-called religions, beyond any sects. In all the religions, Om is used in different forms. So first I'll chant Om, and chanting Om from lower chakras, lower notes, is very healing. There are different scales of voice, in music this is taught. Like sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa. There are different scales of voice. So speaking, chanting any mantra from a specific scale, a specific note, creates a specific effect. So speak a mantra from lower chakras, like Om. Then different ways. Om. This is lighter. So first I begin with Om chanting from lower chakras. See how it is produced. Om Shanti. So Om is the beginning and end of every mantra, every spiritual practices. Whenever you sit in meditation, must start your meditation practices with Om chanting, and your meditation becomes more effective. Om is not a word. Om is monosyllable. Om is just a symbol. This is not a word which stands for any meaning. Om is just a pointing to the ultimate state of consciousness, which is termed as God, as divine, as nirvana, as kaivalya, samadhi. There are different terms of that ultimate state in different languages, in different sects, religions. But the state is only one, the final state. and that is termed as Om. So begin your spiritual practices, be that of meditation, be that of chanting, be that of anything. Practice with Om. Om is not religious but spiritual. There is a great difference between spirituality and religion. Spirituality is a science. This does not belong to any religion. You can find a spiritual person in Hindu, in Islam, in Christianity, in any other religion. So spirituality is standalone. So Om chanting, Om speaking is spiritual practice. Speak Om without any biases, and you are fond of the divine by speaking Om, by remembering Om. Shiva gets pleased, Vishnu, Brahma, Durga, or any deities gets pleased by chanting Om. You don't need to chant in a specific divine's name, in a specific deity's name. In a Hindi prarthana, this is chanted, this is spoken that Pranavakshar ke madhye ye tino eka. Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. These are three trinity in Hinduism. Brahma, creator, Vishnu, operator, and Shiva, destroyer of negative energies, negative entities. All these three deities reside in Om. So you don't need to chant Om Namah Shivaya or Om Namo Narayana or Om Brahmane Namah. No. If you speak Om, all of these trio get pleased and shower their blessings on you. So begin your spiritual talk, begin your spiritual practices with Om. It's very auspicious, is very scientific and highly effective. So today I just thought to come online, on live, to share my ideas, my thoughts, my studies, my experiences on spirituality. And I have termed it as spiritual satsang, spiritual talk. So by sharing of your knowledge, of your wisdom, of your love, you increase that. The more you share, the more that asset is increased. The more punya you cultivate, you accumulate. So spirituality I love, which is beyond so-called religions. And yoga is a very spiritual practice, which in fact in Sanskrit is called yog, not yoga. There are different kinds of yoga: Hatha Yoga, Raj Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, Kriya Yoga, Mantra Yoga, Lay Yoga, Kundalini Yoga. All these are methods, branches of yoga. And yoga practice makes you spiritual. That is not religious, sectarian. In yoga practice, you don't meditate on any deity, but you focus on your own spiritual energy. First of all, spirituality believes in spirit, Atman, or soul. And in spirituality, you don't need to adore, worship any deity, but your own spirit, your own soul, Atman, which is divine, absolute divine. So a very rational, very logical, very scientific person practices spirituality, not any religion. And a spiritual one is highly intelligent person, highly brilliant person. But religious people are superstitious, blind people. A spiritual one meditates on his her own energies, on spirit, on soul, which is divine, which is nothing but God. Related to spirituality, there are many scriptures like Upanishads, Yoga Sutras. They can teach you this spirituality, the true spirituality. Even the scriptures of Buddha can teach you the true spirituality. Some scriptures of Buddha are like the Diamond Sutra. In Sanskrit, this is called Vajrachedika Sutra, or the Lankavatar Sutra. These two sutras of Buddha are very profound, highly brilliant, intelligent, and enlightening, that can make you spiritual, true spiritual. The first question arises, why to be spiritual? Actually, when you become spiritual, you become very powerful. You become original. You become inspiring to others. Spirituality teaches you, don't copy, don't imitate anyone, don't follow anyone, don't adore any deity, but your own self. And in past, there have been numerous spiritual saints, yogis, sages, who were original practitioners. They did not worship any deity but their own souls. And they realized the God in their own souls. Upanishads are full of spiritual mysteries. There are many Upanishads. The major Upanishads are Ish Upanishad, Kat Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, Ken Upanishad, Prashna Upanishad. These are major Upanishads. In Kat Upanishad, this is mentioned that they who are brilliant, who are focused, mindful, or the practitioners of meditation, by observations, by meditation practices, they realize the divine within. That divine who is the ruler of all, that divine who is the creator, that divine who is the great protector, greatest patron of you, of anything, of everything. That divine resides, is living within you, through you. And there are many fears, many kinds of fears, dots that take you away from your own divinity. When you are unafraid, when you are fearless, then you are attuned to the divine who is living within you. So, to have confidence within oneself is very challenging. Out of fear, you take refuge in the deities, in the external sources, in the external beings. But if you are fearless, you are established in yourself. So spirituality cannot be practiced by the frightened people. Spirituality needs a great, great fearlessness, self-confidence. Adhyatma in Sanskrit, this is called Adhyatma. Adhyatma is made of two words, Adhi and Atma. Buddhism doesn't believe in Atman in one sense, but in other sense, Buddhism believes in the super being, super state of consciousness. That can be termed as Atman or soul. But there is some aspects of the existence where one can realize the oneness. There is an existence which regulates from where everything arises and where everything gets dissolved into. And that is divine or soul or Atman, whatever you say. Adhyatma means being into Atman, which is the nearest part of your existence, the inmost, the very nearest thing to you is nothing but your own soul, you yourself. If you meditate on any deity, be that Shiva, be that Krishna, Vishnu, Hari, Brahma, or any other deity, or through them, if you want to get realization of divine or the enlightenment, that is very long way. That is very confusing. That can lead you to confusions. But if you go to the nearest thing, nearest one who can guide you, who can show you the path, then there is very less chance to get misguided, misled, and that is nothing but the divine living within you, within your heart. In your whole body, in your whole individuality, existence, there is one seat of divine, that is heart. So if you get out of your head and you get into your heart, you can experience the divine very quickly, very instantly. So, to experience that Atman, spirit, soul, divine, God, or the super consciousness, you have to do nothing but spare a time when you can get disconnected from the outer world. You can withdraw your all senses, mainly your consciousness, your mind, and you can plunge yourself within you and get into your heart. Try to feel what you are feeling in that moment, what your heart whispers. Try to listen. Divine speaks through your heart. Divine guides you through heart. This brain can misguide you, mislead you, but not your heart. So if you can attune yourself with your heart, you can feel the divine. You can experience the God within fraction of seconds. Just either sit or stand or remain still. Disconnect yourself from the outer world. Focus on your breathings, which is very gross form of prana, and that prana will take you into the heart. And by entering into the heart, you can feel, you can experience the divine, the God. And easily you can enter into the samadhi. So heart is the place, is the seat of God in your whole body. Not brain, but heart. Brain is very mischievous, very rampant, very indisciplined, but heart, not. Your heart is very sincere. When you start loving anything, that love, the power of, the force of love makes you divine, takes you to the divinity. Your heart makes you focused, makes you mindful. So just be with your heart. Attune yourself within heart and feel super state of consciousness. Feel the transcendental state of consciousness. And in the transcendental state, you feel immense joy. You forget the stress, you forget the tensions, you forget the burdens, you forget all kinds of fears. So this is love, which makes you unfrightened, makes you fearless, makes you very dynamic, makes you very loving, caring, sincere. This is love. So love is the alchemy to make you divine, to make you an extraordinary person. So to be spiritual, to practice spirituality is to be heartful, is to be wholehearted. So today's spiritual satsang, spiritual talk was centered, themed upon spirituality, because this is the subject, this is the theme I love most. That is the core of yoga. Spirituality is the core of all religions, all spiritual practices, all methods of God realization, all methods of being greater, being very effective, being very focused, being very dynamic, being inspiring. That is the science, that is the alchemy, that is the techniques, that is the method. So be self-confident, be attuned with your heart, means be divine, be original, be dynamic, be inspiring, be great achiever in whatever field you are, and make your life blessed. That is the ultimate aim of life. And that is the thing which differentiates you from the animal. Because an animal is similar in all biological parts, in biological aspects to the human being. But there is one thing which differentiates them from human, and that is intelligence, that is conscience, that is consciousness. A human being's consciousness is more elevated, more exalted. So, how to live is not more important. Even an ant, even a mosquito, even an elephant, tiger, a bird, an insect knows how to live, how to save their lives, how to save from dangers. You cannot kill a mosquito very easily. They are very clever to defend themselves. The moment you take your hand, that will fly away. So every being, every insect, animal, bird knows how to live, how to save their lives, but they don't know how to go into samadhi, how to practice the spirituality, the science, the method of being divine. And that is the system, that is the technique, that is the science and art of becoming one with divine, the Advaitam. Shantam Shivam Advaitam. That is the ultimate state. Shantam Shivam Advaitam. So, dear friends, now I'd like to finish my today's talk on spirituality, on the science and art of becoming inspiring person, a method to achieve the ultimate aim of human life. And again, I'll come live. In case you have any queries, you can write to me and I'll share my knowledge, experiences, findings, researches, studies. Thank you so much for coming online, watching me, listening me. Thank you. I really appreciate your time, your spirit, and you listened me. Thank you so much. I express my gratitude to you. Thanks again. Namaste. Remain focused, remain mindful, stay blessed, stay vibrant, dynamic, inspiring, and the divine. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om Shanti.